ladies and gentlemen, this is the Man in Black, and this is Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast for Tuesday, 10/22/2013. We're starting our new setup this week, so the show will definitely be at least 30 minutes long. Don't forget, we're going to have some, the shows are going to be set up a little different from now on, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands. We'll have our regular show on Tuesday. The show can be at least an hour long, depending on the headlines that I see that comes up. So, and then on, we're going to have Mayhem News Live Impact Thursday. I'll either be doing some stuff live during Impact, either the day of Impact or during when I watch the recording if I'm not home, or I'll be just doing some pre-notes, post-show notes like I normally do. And then we'll have Mayhem News SmackDown Fridays. That'll be Friday. It'll be posted at both shows. Will be by 5 o'clock, unless I'm not home and I have to watch it later. Basically, the two new shows will be at least 10 minutes long. It'll just be basically about the show, thoughts, stuff I've heard on the internet, comments from anybody on Twitter that I see. I'll give you a shout out. So, we're going to change. We're changing up a little bit. Like I said before in the little promo that I did, if you're familiar with YouTube, a lot of people follow stuff that doesn't get kind of stale. So we've been doing the same thing for about a good 3-4 months since we went to the recorded show right now. So I decided it's time to change it up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into it. TNA's final rating score, while up against they were up against the Seahawks and Cardinals NFL game, was 0.84. That is a 0.2 increase from last week's episode, which translates into 1,110,000 viewers. I don't know if it's just. It depends on what's on TV. I think sometimes what their rating is. I think, any show's ratings are subject to change, basically because a lot of people watch it recorded, and those Nielsen ratings are not counted with the recorded shows. They can't wait somebody watch it 2 weeks from now and say, oh, we raised up a point. So I watched TNA. We did not really cover the full TNA show because I was changing the format a little bit, our viewing, what the shows are going to be. So, but I will talk about it. Someone needs to tell Dixie that she is nothing near Michelangelo, and she needs to never compare herself to Michelangelo, the artist. She's not even close to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. At least he's cool. I mean, coming out and comparing yourself to Michelangelo, really? You don't even match up against Stephanie McMahon, and she's not perfect. But you're coming out, and like I said 2 shows ago, I have realized that there is a kryptonite to my ears. It is Dixie Carter's off-tone, high-pitched voice. I would prefer just to jerk my teeth out with the pliers than to have to listen to her talk with the volume fully up. I'll be honest, I muted it. I knew she was talking about AJ, something about putting up $50,000 on his head. I mean, okay. But she actually compared herself, I'm not making this up, she compared herself to the famed artist on Impact. So, and here's another thing. Am I the only one that's wondering why TNA is drawing out the demise of Aces and Eights? There's 3 of them, people. Okay? There were never more than 4 or 5 with the Mafia. And we knew at least one of them was going to be gone to train when he faces Tito Ortiz. So we knew that their numbers were going to drop. But the Aces and Eights has been up to, 20 members? 16? And they're down to 3. Why postpone? Yes, and I'm not going to talk about the BFG pay-per-view because I want to talk about it right before I do the stuff on TNA Impact Wrestling, so we kind of cover both. But I mean, why draw it out? Why? You know, why make Nux stand up to Bully Ray and, you know, act like he's got a set, and then the next week act like he doesn't have a set? I mean, are you trying to do a big show thing here? I don't understand. Anyway, WWE still plans on launching its network. There was some stuff from PW Insider where they basically said it would be the early part of 2014. Now, we do have an update. Even though they said that, they did say that there was no set date. So it could be 2016. I know they would like to do it before this WrestleMania. And, you know, I'll be honest, I can't wait, especially if they're going to include pay-per-views with the price of the network. From what I understand, there may be only 2, possibly 3 pay-per-views that you actually have to pay for on top of your... at one point, they said the only one you'd have to pay for besides what you paid every month for the WWE Network would be WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure they'll push some of these newer ones that they've split off, and like BattleGround and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure they'll try to get people to buy those because, you know, I don't know. But anyway, just to make them more popular, if you keep doing like you did last BattleGround, the first one, yeah. Anyway, but you know, I just kind of hope that would be it. Now that we did get an update again, that they wanted to clarify that they had not set any date, but that it was hoping to be the first part of 2014. But that was just a hope. Now, there's been a lot of talk that the WWE is assuming that Hulk Hogan will not be there, you know, for WrestleMania 30, because as far as they know, he's still planning on signing a contract with TNA. Anyway, now as far as Hulk Hogan as a wrestling, I don't want to use icon, as someone that everybody knows in wrestling, the things that he did to make professional wrestling the way they are now, you know, I agree that, okay, he has a substantial draw. And, you know, Kurt Angle will say this, I'll talk about that in a minute, you know, everywhere he walks out, he gets cheered, whether he's working, whether he's just there. You know, there's a lot of people that like Hulk Hogan, but Hulk Hogan right now is kind of in this Cena zone. He has people that just love him to death, and then he has people that can't stand him. And a lot of the reasons why they can't stand him is not what he does on camera, it's what he does backstage, you know. And I just don't know. I will talk about that a little more in a minute. WWE, a few people in WWE now, I'm going to be honest, this is just something I'm going to mention because I saw it, and I'll be honest, I'm a Sting fan, so, you know, I think it's very, you know, cool, but I think that they're saying that WWE thinks they can get Sting for WrestleMania 30. This is per Brian Alvarez of Figure 4 Weekly. I must admit, you know, it would be cool, you know, as a Sting fan to see him walk out on WrestleMania or on Raw prior, you know, because you know they're not just going to let him show up at WrestleMania. He's probably going to have to show up a couple of shows before just to kind of, you know, build it up a little bit. But as a fan, it's not going to upset me if he never shows, if it never happens. You know, I'll quote, and I'm going to give her a shout out, Sting Ed. I'll quote her, you know, I don't care where he's at. You know, I like Sting, mainly because I was not watching wrestling when Sting started to doing the crow thing. It was Spring Stampede. It was like the month before that when he started coming out, and they started questioning whether he was, might have been a couple of months before Spring Stampede. When he came out of this, you know, I mean, when I saw him in the sitting up there in the rafters with the face paint on. I'm a Crow fanatic, so he got me back into wrestling. So I'm not going to care where he's at. Would I think it'd be cool? I think, the neighbors would know if Sting, am I not right? The neighbors would know if Sting walked out on WWE TV. Me and my wife would let them know whether they were in our apartment or not. They would hear us. But it's not going to upset us. He could retire tomorrow and I'd still be a Sting fan. I'm sorry. But it's good that, WWE is confident. There is something there that's causing them to be confident. So, we don't know what went on. We don't know if this is all. We don't even know if it's actually true. But I had to mention it because I'm a Sting fan. Sorry. It was reported that the actual match finishes for BattleGround was not announced for like 2 hours before the show. The reason behind this is because they were trying to prevent the wagers. They think that somehow when they announce them early, the employees are texting or emailing or probably something that's not traceable their families and having them bet on who's going to win and getting money. So to kind of prevent that, they did not let anybody know who was going to win, because they said it was backstage. BattleGround was kind of chaotic because they only knew 2 hours ahead of time that so and so was going to win. So even though you know what I'm saying. So that's kind of bad when your own employees are hey, I can make a buck too, but hey. John Morrison talks of going to TNA. I don't know about you, but I think John got hit on the head. People don't jump on a sinking ship, John. Especially someone that's been as high in the business as you have. If you want to go somewhere, try to go back to WWE. I don't really think. Yeah, they're having new stars in TNA, but those are the people that are being trained there, that are moving up. I don't know if I jump on you didn't see rats jumping on the Titanic, okay? Rats were like, that's okay. I don't need to go to America. I'll just eat pizza and stay over here and where I'm at. Okay. Kurt Angle has endorsed keeping Hogan per Busted Open radio show on Sirius XM. In my opinion, we're going to talk now. This is what I was talking about earlier. In my opinion, Hogan is not good for business. Now, as far as him being on the show to wrestle, if that was still possible, yeah, okay. But for him and Bischoff to be in the business backstage, I don't think it's good. I think that's a lot of their problems too. Not to mention Dixie Carter doesn't know what the hell she's doing. So, let's see. Scott Hall talks with working with WWE. He does clarify that is not up to him, but that he would enjoy coming back. And as good as Scott Hall is doing, I wouldn't mind seeing him too. I think that would be kind of cool. It seems Big E Langston, who, by the way, has had his wardrobe adjusted. I did notice the other day that his outfit does start to go down his legs a little bit now. I appreciate WWE because, frankly, I did not care to see ass and nuts. I'm sorry. No. Anyway, but it seems he's getting a push. And this happened after he helped CM Punk when Heyman and them attacked Punk, and I think it's a good idea. And they ended up teaming. He actually ended up teaming with him on Raw, so I think that's a good idea. There will be a triple threat for the WWE Tag Titles at Hell in the Cell. Cody and Goldust will be defending against the Usos and Roman and Reigns. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't do this very often, but I feel pretty strong about it. Okay. I think that in this match, Ambrose calls the DQ. Okay? I'll tell you why. I think that he's going to cause a DQ, which will DQ the Shield. The Usos will get their shot at the next pay-per-view. That'll leave Cody and Goldust with the titles. And there's been a lot of talk about maybe the Shield might be going their separate ways. So that's one reason why I say this. This would actually cause some heat between the Shield members. Roman Reigns and Rollins actually would, blame Ambrose for interfering. So that's my prediction. If it don't happen, don't sue me, because it's just a prediction. But I think it could be very, very interesting. Langston is to face Axel at Hell in the Cell, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm pulling for Langston. I think the IC title is a good title start for him, and I think I think it's a good start. Big question: where's Katilyn? She just went poof. She's gone. Brie Bella has been stepping up her game, but Katilyn has just disappeared from the Divas Championship story. What? Except for that little old thing on WWE.com. Where'd she go? What's wrong? Did she get injured? I haven't seen anything about it. So, if you see Katilyn, tell her to call me when you find out where she at. Okay? No, anyway. Rey Mysterio returns to a live event in Tupelo, Mississippi. Okay, let's start that work accident clock. Let's just hope he stays, healthy. All right, Raw results. Triple H and Steph open. I was kind of depressed. Kind of upset that there was no heat toward Goldust and Cody from them two. They won the titles. They beat the Shield. Not even a mention. I guess they were focusing on Big Show because, he did knock everybody out. So, I guess Trips didn't want to say, well, it's actually my fault because I made it a no DQ. Anyway, before we go on to big question, another big question. Got two this week since we skipped the show last week. All right. Who could have arranged the Via satellite spot for Big Show? I want y'all to think about that for a minute. Stephanie and Triple H didn't know anything about it, had no clue. Think about it. Who has that power? I think we all know who has that power. No chance. Anyway, moving right along. Let's see. Yet another Bryan versus Ambrose match. At least it didn't end in DQ. Daniel Bryan got the win with the submission, the no-lock submission, or the yes-lock, excuse me. Punk addresses Heyman. Orton faces yet another random opponent in Ziggler and actually gets the win. Miz and Kofi face the Wyatts, and Wyatt actually warns the Miz of what's going to happen. It's kind of creepy. As long as he doesn't do that exorcist walk again, that was really creepy. Okay, Big E and Punk team after they were supposed to have Big E versus Axel, but Ryback got in there. Punk come down and helped. They made a match, and Big E and Punk get the win. The Real Americans defeat Tons of Fun. Pretty much looked like they were just trying to fill up the space of time. The Usos versus the Shield goes to no contest, setting up triple threat. I love the fact that when Ambrose got in Cody's face, you could see Goldust sitting there ready to pounce. I'm ready to pounce. And when he hit Cody, that was all it was. I thought that was funny. Big Show distracts Stephanie and Trips and Orton with a big old truck. I thought that was really interesting. What was really funny is Michael Cole actually called it a monster truck. No, that's a Peterbilt. Anyway, I'm a Peterbilt. I'm sorry. Decent show. Orton gets kicked in the face by Bryan. It was really good. It was halfway decent. It could have been a lot better, but that's pretty much the show. I'm going to kind of go over some quick sponsor stuff. Zach Pack Promotions. That is one of our main sponsors. Zach Pack Promotions on Facebook, Z-Pack Promotions on Twitter, and ZachPackPromotions.com. And if you put a slash after it and put Bustin' for Autism, that's BUSTIN, the number 4, and autism, you'll be able to find out what's going on November the 16th and 17th near Katy, Texas. You can have lunch with the stars. Unfortunately, Goldust will not be able to be there due to his upgrade in his WWE contract. Joyce DeWitt has replaced Miss Barnes. Miss Barnes could not be there either. Priscilla Barnes could not be there. Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company. Yeah, baby. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Bunch of other people, a whole crew, the whole slew of people. At the end of this video, I'll have an updated version of who all are going to be there. If you can't buy tickets, you're not going to be in if you're not going to be in that area, you can just donate. Anything helps. Fighting Disability Slurs, that is Fight Disability Slurs at WordPress.com. We're trying to stop slurs in general, but disability slurs is our main focus. I want to thank Throttle for the wonderful music that we have as our theme, which is New Blood. They are working on a new album. They're not going to print too many CDs to sell, but they're doing a lot of stuff through iTunes and Amazon. I know that they're going to start doing the songs and stuff. So as soon as I find out any information, I plan on once he gives me some stuff, we're gonna actually do some contests on Twitter and Facebook and some stuff like that. So and I want to give a shout out to Blast 52. If you don't know who Blast 52 is, they are not a sponsor, but they're very close friends of the Mayhem News Live team, and they've got some great music. They've got a new EP called We Can Pretend. If you go to our webpage, that is mayhem-news.com, you can look on the right side under affiliates, and you can actually look up their stuff and get it. I also want to give a shout out to Girls with Big Guns Clan on Call of Duty and other Call of Duty games. They're also under the affiliates. They are a girls only Call of Duty clan. They got some pretty decent videos on Instagram and on Facebook. You can click on there and find their Facebook page if you are a female and interested in playing Call of Duty. That just want to give them a shout out. So but I appreciate it. I also want to send our prayers out to Gabe Loyal and his family. Gabe is fighting childhood cancer. I want to thank Chance Prophet for giving us this information. I'm not going to link anything. I don't want them inundated with stuff, so I just want you to pray for him, and I want to appreciate it. Don't forget, we got Impact Thursday night, Mayhem News Live Impact Thursdays, and then we got Friday. We'll have Mayhem News Live SmackDown Friday. So don't forget to follow us. I'll post everything on the usual spots. I appreciate it, and we're going to let Throttle take us out, and have a nice day.